Hi everyone! My name is Cyrus Pron from BSED English 3B, and for my turn of our reporting, I will be sharing some useful insights and information about how to validate the research instrument. Now, when we talk about instrument validation, ito ay isang proseso na nag-i-evaluate o nag-a-assess ng dalawang area, specifically yung reliability at validity ng ating research instrument. Kaya tayo nagkakaroon ng research validation kasi kailangan nating masiguro na tugma sa research study natin yung gagamitin nating research instrument. Ano ba yung tinutukoy nating research instrument? When we say research instrument, it refers to the tool that we use when gathering data. At isa sa pinaka-common na tool na ginagamit natin at palaging naririnig ay yung survey questionnaire. So, in order to effectively measure a research instrument, para masukat yung dapat niyang sukatin, kailangan nating padaanin siya sa proseso ng validation. Research validation is an important step in ensuring that the instrument accurately and effectively measure the intended construct or variables of your research. Yan din yung sinasabi natin kanina. Kailangang masiguro natin na masusukat o mabibigyan ng kasagutan yung objectives ng ating research sa tulong ng laman ng research instrument. Kumbaga, kaya tayo nagkakaroon ng validation kasi chine-check nitong validation process kung ang laman ng instrument nyo ay talagang accurate, valid, at reliable. There are two areas na pwedeng gawin para ma-check yung ating instrument. Ito yung tinatawag nating reliability and validity. But we are going to focus more on validity. So for a short discussion of reliability, here you are required to use a statistical technique. Reliability kasi, based on its definition, refers to the consistency and stability of the instrument's measurement. Ibig sabihin, even if you do another research using the same content, same instrument, at nirecompute nyo yun, dapat yung result would still be the same. Yun ang tinatawag nating reliability. Again, you are going to use a statistical technique if you are required to do a reliability test sa inyong research instrument. If we put that in an analogy, imagine you have a thermometer. If it consistently shows the same temperature for the same person at the same time, it is reliable. Kung ginamit ulit natin yung parehas na thermometer sa parehas na tao at parehas na condition at iba yung result na lumabas, ibig sabihin hindi reliable yung thermometer or yung instrument natin. Now, let's move on to the area of validity. Validity refers to the extent to which the instrument, yung laman ng instrument nyo, measures what it intends to measure. Yun ang ginagawa ng validity sa ating instrument. It is concerned with the accuracy and appropriateness of the instrument's results. Yung laman dapat ng instrument nyo, yung mga tanong na nasa instrument nyo, should be aligned with the results that you are expecting and with the objectives that you are trying to attain. For example ulit. Example, you have a weighing scale. Is it actually measuring your weight correctly? Kapag nakita nyo ron sa timbangan na 50 kilos kayo, pero alam nyo naman na 55 kilos kayo, ibig sabihin that weighing scale lacks validity. Same logic that we should apply in our research instrument. Also, there are many types of validity. Maliban dito sa nakikita nyong tatlo, marami pang validity tests na pwede nating gawin. At ang pinaka-common is what we call the content validity. Ito rin yung magiging basehan ng sample natin mamaya. So, content validity ensures that the instrument adequately covers all relevant aspects of the topic or construct being measured. Siguro lang dito sa content validity na yung laman ng instrument nyo ay talagang nasakop niya lahat ng kailangang sakupin at naka-reflect dun sa inyong research, specifically sa statement of the problem. Lahat ba ng tanong na nasa SOP ay na-cover ng inyong instrument? Dito yung lalabas sa content validity. Now, going to the sample validation sheet that I have provided. So, this is created by Dr. Edward Alpadama. So you can modify, adjust, or even remove some parts on this particular area. And the scale is already provided for this particular criteria. So these are the criteria that you are required to present when you construct your validation sheet. There are research advisors that require you to put at least 10 criteria dito sa validation sheet nyo. So here, I am just going to present and scroll. Then you can pause and screenshot the criteria that you can adapt in constructing your own validation sheet. Now, if hindi nyo kailangan lahat, edi wag nyong isama lahat. Kayo na lang pumili kung ano lang yung kailangan nyo at yun lang yung gagamitin nyo. And so, this is the first part. This is the second part. And this is the last part. I also provided an alternative, also created by Dr. Edward L. Padama. If you don't want to use the previous format, merong mas simpleng alternative. So, ito. 10 pa rin yung criteria at i-replace nyo lang siya run sa table. And if you also want to change the verbal description instead of strongly agree hanggang strongly disagree, pwede nyo namang baguhin if you want. Going back, I wasn't able to discuss earlier, but validation will only be done if your instrument is what we call a researcher-made instrument. Validation is only needed if your instrument is researcher-made. So, ano ibig sabihin nun? Literally, ang gumawa ng instrument nyo ay kayo. Ang nag-formulate ng mga tanong sa loob ng instrument nyo ay kayo. Yung pinakita ko kanina, hindi yun yung research instrument ha. That is the validation for the instrument. Para malaman kung yung laman ba nung ginawa nating instrument, halimbawa yung survey questionnaire, ay tama, na-cover lahat, walang bias at accurate. Again, validation and validation sheets are only applicable for researcher-made instrument. If your instrument is what we call a standardized instrument, then there is no need for validation. What do we mean by standardized instrument? Ito yung mga instrument na nagamit na ng mga previous studies. So kapag ang isang instrument ay nagamit na ng ibang researchers sa studies nila, ibig sabihin, na-validate na yon. Kaya there is no need for validation. One question na lagi nating tinatanong sa mga ganitong pagkakataon ay, pwede ba yun? Can we do that? To use other instruments that are similar to a research study and use that instrument on our own? So the answer is yes. Yes, we can use other instrument, standardized instrument, and adapt that for our study. The only thing that you need to do is to ask for permission. You have to ask for permission from the owner of the instrument. You have to wait for the consent to be given. So another is, you have an standardized instrument. You went through it, tiningnan nyo, tapos na-realize nyo na merong mga parts na katulad ng study nyo. Tapos may mga part din na hindi akma para sa study nyo. If you are going to use that and may mga babaguhin lang kayo, ang tawag na ron ay modified standardized instrument. Meron lang kayong part ng standardized instrument na kailangang i-modify. So ano ulit ang kailangan gawin? Kailangan pa ba ng validation o hindi na? The answer is yes. You still need to go through validation since you have already modified the parts of the instrument. And yes, you also need permission from the owner, informing na you will modify their standardized instrument. This is the proper ethical standard and procedure if you are going to create the following instruments at kung ano ang role ng validation sa bawat instrument na nabanggit natin. So we are going to end our discussion here. I hope that you learned something from me. Good day and thank you for listening.